I didn't think that Taylor Swift getting booed at the Super Bowl was going to have people this upset. But when you just look up Taylor Swift booed, you're going to find tons of cope. It's kind of crazy how much cope there is. Glamour seems to really be coping. A couple of different journalists wrote articles about this. One of them's really funny. We're going to go over that one. But I just wanted to show you this one first. Taylor Swift is booed at the Super Bowl, and Donald Trump is cheered. What is going on? Aren't we over this particular kind of misogyny?
What a story, Mark.
But that's got nothing on this one. Just look at the headline. What, Taylor Swift getting booed at the Super Bowl was even more chilling than you think? It was chilling. It's chilling that she was booed. I can't believe this happened. She inserted herself into probably one of the biggest elections of our country, one of the most important ones. And, you know, in a very, let's be real, it's a very polarizing time in this country. And she decided to insert herself in that. She didn't have to do that. She inserted herself right in. She's a massive star, too. Let's be real. She's probably, and listen, I'm not even a big fan. I'm not a fan of her at all, to be honest. But there are people out there that are huge fans of her. And she could have just stayed out of it, but instead she decided to insert herself. That was part of it. But I think the bigger reason that she was booed, because they're going to bring up, and we're going to go through this, but they're going to bring up like Lady Gaga and stuff. And Lady Gaga also inserted herself into the election, and she didn't get booed. I think the bigger reason that, before we get into this, that she was booed is pretty obvious. She's kind of made herself into the sixth man of the Kansas City Chiefs. She's at every game. She's dating a star player. She has made herself, she's attached herself to the team. So when you boo her, it's kind of like booing the team. But women don't seem to understand this, which is funny to me. So let's get into this. We're going to learn how Trump taking office is destroying the country and bringing back toxic masculinity. Since Trump took office, there has been several times I felt chilled by the rapid increase in misogyny seeping in our culture. But watching Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl, booed by a crowd of thousands on Sunday, was a new low. It was just a football game, people might say. Or Swift, who was famously dating Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce, got heckled by some rowdy Eagle fans excited to be at the biggest sporting event of the year. So don't take it so seriously. When I was there at the game, when Swift's face appeared on the Jumbotron, an almost instant and distinctly male descent erupted around me. Swift, of course, was there to support her boyfriend and was far from the only celebrity in attendance. In fact, the screen showed a new famous person, Paul McCartney, Anne Hathaway, Lady Gaga. Every time there was a break in the play with virtually no response from the crowd. Paul McCartney, I love Paul McCartney, huge Beatle fan. Never really inserts himself into any kind of political shit. Famously seems like a very nice guy. Why would he be booed? Anne Hathaway, what has she done to get booed? And Lady Gaga, and this is kind of a big one, she has inserted herself into many a thing. I think the biggest response there is because Taylor Swift is such a big name. She's bigger than, well, she's not bigger than Paul throughout history, but at this moment in time, Taylor Swift is probably the biggest pop star. And she decided to insert herself in a big way. Called herself a cat lady. All kinds of wild shit. But the biggest reason she was booed is because she is so attached to the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's be real about it. That's the biggest reason. But what's funny is this kind of rhetoric that's going around saying that it's sexist, misogynist. Like, how does this person know that it was distinctly male? How do you know that? You heard a crowd of people yell. Of course, you're gonna hear the male boos more. They're deeper. You're not gonna hear the high pitched scream like yells and boos over that. How can you say that it was only men booing? That's such a cope. Such a cope. So here we go. Swift was different. As soon as she appeared on screen, the crowd seemed to delight in jeering and heckling her. And the mood shift was palpable. I watched in real time as Swift, along her friend Ice Spice, took in the response, her brow furrowing in confusion, then apparent discomfort. Good suffer, Taylor Swift. Suffer. Cares, man. Like, this woman is acting like this hurt her to her core. Hurt to her core. And her also saying, here, look what happened. She said, what is going on? She didn't expect that. Didn't expect it. I loved it. I love seeing, like, Hollywood people. I consider her a Hollywood person, even though she's in music. It's all kind of the same broad brush of entertainment. I like seeing some like her get brought down a peg. There is something in that. Because she is like, somebody said this in my comments on the last video when I talked about this yesterday. She's like the world's oldest teenager. Big ego, probably pampered like a princess her whole life. Doesn't really get what's going on. She's clueless. If you really want to see, there's a video of her, like her dad saying, maybe you shouldn't make these political statements. No, I'm gonna. Like it was like watching a child interact with their parents. Is really telling. This is why I think that relationship between her and that dude is fake. There was like some rumor going around that they were with a PR company and there was a contract and shit. I kind of believe it. And I think the reason that it's still going on is because it got leaked. I bet you they break up soon, by the way. By the end of the summer. I bet you this relationship is over and you get a whole album of songs based on that dude by next year. Watch. This is also predictable, man. Even these people's lives is theater. That's why there's a whole market built on it, like through TMZ and paparazzi. So, to me, the desperate reactions felt like a message that the Super Bowl, one of the biggest cultural events in the country, has been reclaimed by Trump and the type of toxic masculinity he appears to be the beacon of. And he and his supporters seem to be living for it. Just look at the president's response shortly after he left the game. Not only did he acknowledge that Swift was booed by the crowd, he delighted in it, as he had many, many times before, including saying he hated Swift after she endorsed his 2024 rival, Kamala Harris. The president weaponized his massive following against her. And then he reads this tweet. You get it by now, right? You see what's going on here? Let's just go down to the last paragraph here. In an era where Trump is single-handedly dismantling decades of diversity, equity, and inclusion that generations of women, people of color, queer people fought for, the Super Bowl felt like a microcosm of a larger problem. Not only does it feel like Trump and his ilk want Swift out of football. I do want her out of football, absolutely. I'm tired of like seeing her shit every time I watch a football game. Because it's all fake and manufactured. Yeah, get her out. It's like they want to return our country time to a time when our entire country to a time when they were in control, had all the power, and could say whatever they wanted without repercussions. And if it seems scary online, it's more chilling when you're forced to confront it face to face. Lady, you need to go outside and touch some grass. You need to go outside and feel some wind in your face. You do have a huge problem. You think that all of this is happening, except for the DEI stuff. That absolutely is getting dismantled because it's terrible and it does discriminate against people. It needs to go. But all this misogyny and shit that you're talking about, none of that is happening. None of that is happening. You're crazy. Imagine reading so much into this just because you're a big Taylor Swift fan, which I'm sure she is, and you were sad to see her get booed. Why is Glamour getting Super Bowl tickets, by the way? What is on Glamour that this woman needed a $5,000 ticket to go to the Super Bowl because Taylor Swift is there? They cover the best eye creams, according to dermatologists. I'll get rid of puffy eyes in an instant. The 5 best Super Bowl commercials this year were made for women. Meghan Markle, positive coverage. What is anything? This guy in the Super Bowl. Kate Hudson's 3D chrome glass. And I'm not even a huge football guy. I like college football. I don't care about the pro stuff. I would have no desire to go there. She was probably on her cell phone the entire time she was watching the game. Or talking to people. She probably had, sideline tickets, too. Imagine that. What a waste. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about all of this. The coolest blonde hair colors. I suppose this would probably cater to the audience of Glamour. Probably all crying. She got booed. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about all of this. I'd like to hear from you. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.